We are live.
Right. It is the February 1st monthly board meeting for the Old Town Laverne Business Improvement District. And before we get started, we are on live stream on YouTube. If anyone watching would like to submit a question or comment, email that to planning, PLANNING, at cityoflaverne.org. Planning at cityoflaverne.org. We'll go ahead and get started. We have everyone here except for Marianne, I believe, is here. So we'll get going. First item is, you want to talk about the pool cruise, Eric?
I don't have any updates on that now.
As of right now, he's still looking at that date, or you haven't heard from last fall when we last talked?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him since our last meeting, so I need to follow up on it with him on it.
Hello.
Hi, Alfie.
Hey, how you folks doing? How are you? Sorry about that. I was trying to figure out this computer here.
Okay. Hold on just a minute. We'll be to you in just a minute. We have minutes from December 2nd and 7th meetings. If there are no changes, we need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jason moved. Second. Anybody?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
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 About a month ago, I received communication from Alfie, who's on our screen there, Sanchez, and he's been involved in bike race that was down in the San Paulo Park before. I don't know if they're multiple or one, but he is interested in seeing what the possibility might be in having a event in the Old Town. And without me messing everything up, I'll let him just overview of that and the questions we have. I thought this, there's nothing actually to approve at this point. It's mainly for information and start the discussion, see if this is something we want to move forward. So Alfie, welcome, and let us know what you're thinking.
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so we host a bike race right now in the city of Laverne, which is off of Puddingstone. It's called Laverne Grand Prix. So we were kind of kicking around possibly doing something downtown. I did talk to Sergeant Leeper. I want to say probably this time over a year ago in the beginning of 2020 or 2020. And of course, he let me know about the association and, with you guys at downtown, because I was not aware of that you guys actually had your own association. So it kind of helped. So what I'm working with, it's called USA Crits. It's a series, it's at a national level. Right now, California is not on their calendar. You have Utah, Colorado, El Paso, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina. And these are considered D1 pro teams that come out to these events. So talking to the director of USA Crits, they definitely would like a 2-day event. And we thought that maybe we can definitely host a 2-day event with a downtown crit in downtown on Saturday. And then on Sunday, looking to take the course back to the Laverne course, well, the one on Puddingstone, and have that a 2-day event. So with USA Crits, it's a national event, and also it's got a live stream. So to be part of this calendar, it's pretty expensive, but it brings thousands of people out. I do have some video to kind of give you an idea of what they're bringing out as far as people, and you're talking Utah, Idaho, back east. And if people are able to, thousands of people show up to these events back east, we're in California and we've got a lot more riders and a lot more opportunity for, to host a much bigger event for what we want to see. So just to kind of give you guys an idea, I do have, let me see, I've got to make sure I got the video. Nope, let me see, sorry. Thought I had the video. Pictures, photos. Share.
Do we have a proposed date when that might happen?
So right now we're looking at July, somewhere like the last couple weeks of July of 2022. So right now the calendar's already set for 2021. So we're already looking at July of 2022, probably the last couple weeks of July. It gives us enough time to get prepared because again, this is a much bigger animal than we're used to because it's going to cost us a lot of money. Because of course we're paying for the live stream, we're paying for the pros to come out. So it's more of the way that they're spinning it. It's definitely a great opportunity for the bike racers to come out, but it's more for you guys, the businesses, because they want to bring, it's pretty much, we're creating a party for the bike race, but we want to be able to have people being able to go out and eat, be able to drink, be able to have, some type of, entertainment. So when people are either flying from all over the country to come out and watch racing, because again, these teams are coming from all over the United States. The main thing is definitely with downtown, it's going to bring revenue, obviously, to downtown because you're talking thousands, maybe 10,000, 15,000 people walking around downtown. And we have to pretty much, and again, I apologize, I'm trying to get the video, it kind of gives you an idea. I thought it had it posted up here on my feed, just to kind of give you an idea what, where is it at?
So a couple of years
Maybe
ago,
I'll suggest that we follow back up with the link and I could email the board members so they could watch it on their own because I'm not sure it's going to work on Zoom.
Yeah, no problem.
a couple of years ago, Alfie, Claremont was a stop on the Tour de California,
Correct.
and it was unbelievably received. I mean, it shut the town down. It was the Mount Baldy track all the way from downtown Claremont to Baldy and back. Unfortunately, I was in Europe when it happened, but I sponsored it, and according to all the businesses, it was just off the hook. Is this kind of a race in that level?
Correct. Exactly. It's actually going to be, so the great thing about this race is, okay, so I'm able to give you a map of the course. So this would be the course. If you guys can see it, hang on. Dang it. I had it working before. Okay, there it is. Can you guys see this course?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see it, here's your downtown. So if you see, the great thing is everything is all in this one area. So it's called a criterium. So what they're going to do is they're going to race this whole little course for an hour, 30 minutes. And there's going to be different categories throughout the day. It's not going to just be the pro race. We draw out, there's a masters, we bring out the women, there's lower divisions that will come out and race like in the beginning of the day. So you'll have racing going on throughout the day. But then at night, probably around 8 o'clock, we'll bring in the pros and they'll race for about an hour and a half. So during that time, so again, everything is going to stay here all day long. It's not like, like you said, the Amgen Tour, they left, the people stayed, but then of course, when the riders left, that's pretty much, everybody starts leaving because they want to go watch the race. The great thing about this race is everybody's going to stay. Let's just say we're start at 12 noon and we're going till 10 o'clock. So you are able to get that business from 12 noon all the way to 10 o'clock, where people are just going to stay here all day long. And that's where we have to create down the road, entertainment, being able to create, just having to where we have a lot of people want to stay around and give them, some opportunity to enjoy themselves.
You mentioned, sounds like it's fairly expensive, and there's a fair amount of work just for closing down streets and barricades and all that stuff as well, and monitoring the track. What's the financing model on putting in one of these? Where's the money from?
So we're doing the math, and I was doing the math, just logistic, like you said, traffic plans, the police department, finding sponsors. And that's the positive thing about this type of event, because I've already got a few sponsors locked in. But this type of event for both days, we're looking at both days, not just the one day, but for both days, the entire, we're looking about probably about 100,000. But you're talking a live stream, you're talking sponsorships able to get interviewed, because we are responsible for the pros. Because that's the one thing, the pro purse between the men and women for Saturday is 15,000. The pro purse for Sunday's race is 10,000 between both. So again, these guys are racing for that money. So that's the draw. That's what's going to bring the capacity and the masses of people wanting to see this. They have over 1 million followers through the live stream. This is kind of the big, so obviously Amgen Tour, like you guys in Claremont, Amgen's gone. It's no longer going to be hosted in California ever again. We hope it comes back, but we don't know. USA Crits is like the bigger animal now. We're like, because of the thing with road racing, it's hard in United States because it's hard to shut down roads. It's not like Europe where you got these beautiful back streets and you can race out there. So now we're creating these criteriums where we're shutting down these small, normally it's in industrial parks, which it's easy because there's nothing going on in a small industrial park. Same thing like we do the bike race in Laverne, down on Puddingstone, because there's really nothing going on down there. So it's easier for us to do it. But obviously downtown, we can do it. But however, with all the businesses that you guys have, you guys want to make revenue. You guys want to make money. You got to make sure it's worth us spending that kind of money to shut it down, because everybody's going to want to be able to eat and drink and go to the restaurants all day long. And we want to be able to bring that opportunity for you guys. So it's something that obviously, yeah, it's going to cost us money, but however, we have to figure out a way that it's going to help you guys and then help us to make this happen. We have enough time to do it. It's just trying to get on the budget early enough for a lot of the bigger sponsors. And that's why we just kind of want to get the blessing of to say, let's make this happen and let me do my job to work with you guys, work with the city, and make me, everything I know needs to be done. Because like you said, there's traffic plans, there's police department, there's rerouting everybody through the city. There's, the vending, there's, the porta potties, down to everything for 2 days. And then the other thing too is I have to find housing, which I've already talked to the college about the dorms, because in July the kids will be out of school. So there's hopefully some opportunity where we can house these guys for coming out. So that's kind of like the way to bring them here is we take care of them. They don't have to pay for the event. We house them, but it's worth them to come out because that's what we want. We want these pros. And these guys are invited. They're not just regular guys that can just race as pro riders. These have to be an actual team and be part of the series that goes on.
Just a quick clarification. You said that the way you're thinking now is the first day, the Saturday, would be in Old Town, and then the second day would be down at the industrial park. Is that correct?
So yeah, the Saturday's event would be at your location downtown. So we'll come in, and that's usually like an evening, kind of goes into the night, where we start out in the day and then work our way through the evening, and the last race for the night is the pro race.
What I'm getting at is the street closures, et cetera, would only be for the one day, not for both.
Correct, exactly. Downtown Bonita, rerouting everybody through E and B Avenue, kind of putting people either back up onto Foothill or down to Arrow Highway to get around downtown.
Quite honestly, that's probably one of the biggest challenges. We have done events. We have the 4th of July parade that shuts down 3rd Street and B Street, but it's only for half of the day, and it's a holiday when people aren't out moving around much anyway. And then the 6th of Via, and parts of our downtown, but this would be a pretty ambitious closure for an extended period of time. It's going to take some. And seriously, the serious work on the part of the police team and staff to see how that works. Are there other questions at this point for Alfie?
Is the $100,000 something that the city and the Debit R group has to come up with, or are you going to raise sponsor money to get that?
Yeah, we're raising sponsorship money to get that. I mean, the thing that honestly I would be asking of you guys is because of again, I know if I go after every business that's there, I don't know how that works with you guys to say, hey, is $5,000 realistic for you guys so I can utilize that to either pay for the police department, pay for traffic plans, because everything else is still on me. I have got sponsors that are definitely coming in with bigger dollars. We're going after the bike. I've got one big bike shop that's coming in with some pretty big money. So yeah, a lot of our sponsorship is anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. We're still looking for a title sponsor. So the title sponsor, that's 25 to 30,000. So, but I definitely have a few of those 10,000 already lined up, and a couple 5,000. And of course, through registration, we still got registration to deal with. We still have opportunities for vendors to come in and pay for that. So we're trying to, bring it down as much as possible. And again, like I said, there's opportunities for us to still make money through the other racing, because they're going to have to pay to race for that day. So there's opportunity for us to still make revenue. Even if we come up short, we can still make revenue through the participation of the other events. So for me, my thing is to come out, try to talk to you guys in regards to saying, we would love your blessing so I can start doing what I need to do. And then also too, coming in with maybe a sponsorship of 5,000 that could help us to be able to at least get the police taken care of, and maybe the traffic plans. That's kind of like an upfront, or I know working with Verne, they're obviously okay with us billing them, but however, it still kind of knows that we can take a little bit off. And again, we want to be able to bring business to all of your businesses that are there and make that an opportunity for you guys.
Other questions?
You mentioned vendors. What kind of vendors and where would the vendors be placed?
So that was something too that we were looking at, like obviously on D Street, you're talking like a lot of it's more bike, vendors. We may get a few, I don't know, if people are selling, jewelry, or I don't know what they would be selling. I mean, obviously we're not dealing with food or anything like that downtown. However, on the Sunday's event, yeah, we're going to have to bring in the food trucks. And I mean, we do have a beer garden set up already, but again, Sunday's a different event. We kind of have to bring the downtown vibe to the Sunday's event. But for you guys, it's already there. So, and then again, I mean, if you guys are going to say, hey, Alfie, these are the kind of vendors we don't want here, because I don't really know what your other businesses are there besides food and small stuff. Again, if you guys are saying, hey, Alfie, we're okay with these kind of vendors, but we definitely don't want food coming in, because we don't want, and I get that. We're not going to bring any food vendors because we wanted you guys to get the business from all the food, because it's there. We are going to have a VIP tent that will be set up. And that's another thing that we'll be selling, is the VIP tent. And of course, we'll need food, which I would definitely go through one of you folks who has a restaurant to say, hey, we need this catered. We need food. So again, there's another way to get back your money in regards to what we're trying to do. But yeah, there's definitely, and then again, I'm open to everything too, because again, it's your town. I just want to bring this event here, and you let me know what you're okay with and what you're not okay with.
Other questions? Well, speaking for myself, I think that it certainly has, it's a really interesting concept. We've had success with events like the Ciclovia and other things before. We do car shows that have been very successful, bringing lots of people down. And so that's part of what we do. And, I think it's worth exploring further. There's some legwork I would think needs to happen first, however, to make sure that the city, especially police and public works and other city departments that will be so really involved in making this happen logistically, we need to get some feedback from them, make sure this is something that they feel can be done. But I think it's something worth looking into further. What do you guys think?
What's the time frame that, Alfie, you're looking for us to make a decision that we're want to pursue?
Well, in all honesty, as soon as possible. And I hate to be that way, because the fact is, it's a big thing to be part of this calendar, and it's going to give me enough time. So when I start putting it out, we start marketing that, hey, this is going to happen. We can start like as of, I mean, honestly, if now kind of thing, you know, it's like, look, we need to start getting, because we know it's going to cost me money. And not only do I have the bike races going on now, we need to start marketing that we are going to be part of the 2022 calendar to get people fired up, that, especially here in California, because a lot of people are traveling, a lot of big teams are that I've talked to. Even I've got a bike team that we're going to Utah, we're going to Tulsa, we're going to Colorado, we're going to be going to New Mexico. We're going to Mexico, and then I just found out that our national championships is going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So now we've got 6 weekends of traveling with my bike team, and again, we have to start getting our monies together, and we start having, you know, so it's a lot of planning when it comes to bike racing. And then, like you said, logistically, I've got to get back with the city. I've got to get with the police department. I got to get with my traffic plans. So, and then the sponsorship, that's the big thing, because I know talking to some of the sponsors, people that I've talked to now, it's like they're ready to have a conversation in April of this year because they get their budgets ready by July. So I have to start pounding on their doors, because I want to make sure that I'm on their budget. I'm in their budget to where they're definitely sponsoring money to us now. And I again, go ahead.
I have a question. What if we couldn't come up with that $5,000? You know, with everything that's happened this past year,
Yes, right.
with COVID and everything. So are you still considering the downtown if we couldn't come up with that?
Of course. I mean, we're hoping that now that things are opening up for you guys, again, we've got almost a year and a half for the revenue to hopefully kick back in for you guys. And again, and also too, well, my next goal is, I've got another friend of mine who's obviously another event director himself. And if the other thing too is I would like to maybe turn this into a city event. If we can turn this into where the city now is going to sponsor, because our biggest expense is obviously the police department. You know, that's our number one biggest expense when it comes to an event. Yes, the live stream is going to cost us money, because obviously that's where the big dollars are at. But however, that's where the sponsorship money is going to come in and pay for the live stream. So if we can get the city to make sure that, hey, this is going to be a city event, how can we go present it to the city where this is going to be, where maybe the city picks up the bill. And again, the bill that I'm looking for is just the cops, is the police department, because the Laverne downtown course, or the course that I do on Saturday, well, the course that I do on Sunday, that bill is about $3,600 to $3,800. So that's part of that, and that's the police department. So I'm figuring Saturday and Sunday between both. I mean, I'm pretty sure I may need a couple more officers on Saturday downtown, because we are rerouting more people all over the area. Where down on Pudding Stone, it's a little bit easier because we're not shutting down a lot more streets. It's just Pudding Stone that we're just rerouting everybody through Arrow Highway and down through Wheeler if they want to get back into, you know, San Dimas area. But however, for us downtown, yes, like you said, there's a lot more rerouting, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. But
this would be the first California event for this organization.
Correct, exactly. Well, so they actually have San Francisco, San Rafael, but the problem with that San Francisco, and from what I've been getting from a lot of people, was San Francisco, the event director up there only wants to put on one day, but through USA Crits they want 2 days, because you're talking teams are traveling and having to come out to California. Why are we going to want to race just for 1 day? It's not worth it. So San Rafael, the city up there, does not want to put on a 2-day event. And plus, the feedback that I got from a lot of other riders was it was expensive, food-wise. They were like, a sandwich is $20. You know, people are like, we don't, because I know San Francisco up in that area, it's just very expensive. So you have the bougie, is what they were saying, the bougie businesses. So a lot of these guys are on a budget. You know, some of these guys are, you know, just trying to race their bikes. So we want to be able to have that where, hey, it's feasible for them to, when they come down, they've got the opportunity to eat, the people that are traveling to come down. And then the biggest draw for us right here in California, Southern, we've got more opportunity for people to plan their vacation. We have Raging Waters, we got Disneyland, we've got Knott's. So if I'm going to come out and race my bike, I'm going to bring my whole family out here for a week, because now at least I'm in a better part of California and be able to be right here. And again, we have the opportunity to bring 2 or 3 days more of revenue into California from everybody that's traveling. So, but
Eric, do you think it's reasonable to, if we wanted to move forward on this, explore this, to ask city staff to and the police to come up with just a rough idea of what's feasible, what we can do, basic cost?
Yes, exactly. And I just emailed Alfie asking to share with me that map and the video so that I can take it to our department head meeting to get some preliminary feedback to make sure that it's not completely impossible, but that there's some route forward. Because I just know, just looking at the map, Alfie, that fire department's going to have some access issues. So I'm thinking we're going to have to look at that route very carefully and probably modify it to some degree to make sure we have access to everything we need. So, but that's the first step, is for me to share with the department heads. So I just emailed Alfie to send that along so I can do that tomorrow.
okay. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, and that was definitely a concern that I thought about as well, which, like you said, the fire department's right there. And I know, so when I did talk to Sergeant Leeper at the time, because again, I had a meeting with them, like I said, over a year ago, talking about this event. But actually, it wasn't even at this caliber. It was just actually just trying to host an event downtown. And he said it was definitely doable. I know Sergeant Wells now has taken over. Sergeant Leeper has gone onto a different part of the department. So now I'll be working with Sergeant Wells. But again, we can try to figure out logistically how we can get the police department, or how we can, the fire department, to be able to, if something happens, if they have to definitely get out of there, kind of thing. So yeah, that's something that we just have to figure out a plan. But yeah, so I mean, I apologize. I don't mean to be kind of putting this on a rush, but obviously the sooner the better is what I'm asking. So this way we can kind of move forward with the blessing of you guys. And then this way I can definitely get to my job, and then we can continue to keep, as we progress further and further into the event and closer, we know more or less what you guys want from me to make this better, safer for everybody, and to be able to just have a good time. That's the big, like you guys said, like definitely the Amgen tour, you guys had an opportunity. Cyclovia was a great event. Matter of fact, I've talked to their director. They even wanted to come out and set up some booths from some of my previous events so they can promote their event. So again, you guys see what can be brought in the cycling community, and that's all we're trying to just do here, is continue to keep just bringing some great bike racing out, and especially to your city, especially downtown. And I would say a lot of people, even for the Sunday's event, a lot of people were very excited with that course. And we're just looking forward to year after year, just kind of hosting this event and just continue to keep making it better. That's my goal. It's not going to be a one-time deal. We need to just keep growing this event and making it bigger and better.
Yeah. Jason, any thoughts with regards to the university connection here?
If you're making appropriate contacts with our housing department, I'm sure there could be something arranged for dorms. Since it is a summertime, it seems ideal. It's a setup event for those 2 days. As far as the layout for going across campus, it looks acceptable to me. I don't have any other comments beside that.
Okay. Leah, is this something you think the chamber might want to be part of?
Well, Majestic Cycling has been a member of the chamber for a while, so we would, always promote and support their events like we've done in the past, and help him achieve his sponsorship goals by publicizing the event.
I think it could bring in or have opportunities for involvement by other parts of the city business community too. Matt, any comments from you?
I think it sounds like there's a lot of potential for a lot of people to come out. Sounds like a event that would bring a lot of awareness to Laverne. So it sounds good to me. Alfie seems like he's already getting his ducks in a row. So for us to do an event like this, we need to have a point person who knows what they're doing. So that seems good. My question is for SoCal, are there other cities you're looking at, or is it pretty much just Laverne?
Well, so for me, it's because I live in Upland. I live like literally a mile from downtown Upland. And in the past, I've looked at that court, like to do something there, and there's just no opportunity to do anything. I mean, we can race around it, but not downtown because you have that middle little, the way it's just kind of structured. Obviously, there's other cities that I've looked at before, but however, since I do host my bike race there in Laverne now, the Grand Prix, the downtown looking at, and I'll tell you, not just everybody's been very, very pleasant working with the police department, working with the city. You guys have had open arms and I've really had no issues. Believe me, I've had some issues with other cities that I do host my events with. But however, I would say you guys have been great. And the whole thing was too, is getting with the city's always saying that, you guys are promoting healthy living. You're promoting the cycling or running. And I think it just makes more sense to stick with you guys and keep it there, because logistically it's even better, because we have guys from even traveling locally. You guys we have guys from Santa Barbara, from, coming from Arizona, coming from Nevada, coming from LA, coming from Orange County. It just makes it easier for everybody. You're talking, it's a 45-minute drive from pretty much anywhere that people come from besides the local riders.
Okay.
So logistically, it makes more sense to keep it in this area. Plus, obviously, I think the way you guys are set up, with the restaurants and the way we want to set up the course, and how you have all the restaurants on Bonita, and then of course leading right into downtown, and then of course the way you see the structure of the course coming back, where that whole little section of 3rd Street, Bonita, and D Street just makes it so much more feasible. And I guess what I would say, definitely being able to have more opportunity to do a lot more there. And then of course,
Let me jump in there.
Yeah.
Alfie, because we do have some other things we're doing
sure.
in this meeting, but I think we have a good overview of what you're suggesting. Is there general agreement to ask staff to look into this, and
Yes.
we'll see where we go from there. And Alfie, maybe you could also start working on a basic proposal for us, of what you're expecting from us, what you would like from us, how we would directly be involved, that we could share with other businesses and Old Town, other people that might want to be involved. Is there any concern on the part of the board at this point with getting more information?
No, obviously the only Jason, real quick question. I know I spoke to the housing authority. I was not aware of, I guess you guys have some type of suites as well, or more of a corporate kind of level. And I don't know how many rooms you guys have available for those.
Well, we do have, like, it's not really a corporate level. They are suites that have adjoining rooms. I think they're groups of 6 or 8, and some of our older dorms. We are one option. There's also, you can look at the Fairplex as well for the Sheraton, but
Right.
I'm sure we can provide you with some details from our housing office, and they can provide some cost and some layouts to give you some options.
No, and I do appreciate your guys' time. And I know Lee, obviously with the chamber, and of course I've been a member for over a year now, or not. And so again, if there's any other question, I can talk to her as well down. But yeah, so for me, I'll definitely get what we need to get done together. I'll put together a proposal more or less of kind of what I'm, like you said, what asking of you guys, what we'd like to see you guys do, and then of course what you guys can do.
Okay.
And I do appreciate your time.
Thank you, Alfie.
Well, thanks again, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you. So Eric, is that enough
Thanks, Alfie.
for us at this point?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks again, Alfie. And I guess you'll be in touch with the city, and we'll take it to the next step, see how we can make this work.
Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your time again. Thank you.
5A, the D Street reclosure. Eric?
I just put this on the agenda, obviously, as the city did close the street down again last Thursday with the lifting of the outdoor dining ban, so that the restaurants there could reset up. Basically, everybody did basically the same configuration as they had before. On Friday is when the county released some additional details on the rules, basically. So I shared that out with the group on Friday as soon as I saw them. And then I know that Tim and Jessica, Tim's our building inspector, Jessica's deputy fire marshal, they did inspections of those tents on Thursday. They were going to circle back again today on some of the ones that they given some direction on. And now that we're more aware of what the rules are in terms of the setup, so they can maybe provide that further information to them if needed. So I think everything's on the right path. Obviously the weather wasn't perfect for it, at least not Friday or, yes, Saturday was pretty nice, but so things are back in business. And throughout the city, we had a couple other restaurants along Foothill that had some setups with tents that came down, that when they put them back up, that's when they needed the new inspections. As far as I know, everybody's reopened except for La Paloma, who expect to reopen by the end of this week for outdoor dining.
Great. Any issues among businesses?
No, I appreciate Eric sending out all the detail from the county, because we had, there's lots of words on the county's website about the programs, and it was highlighted in yellow and pretty easy to follow. A little further spreading of the tables, 8 feet, not 6 feet. Asking the household are they live together, things like that. But thank you for that, and I think it's full steam ahead. Hopefully we never go backward again. I'm praying with the vaccination and all the people who've already gotten it and are testing positive for the antibodies, that we're going to hit herd immunity from this point on, and we won't go backwards ever again. But I imagine there is a time when we get rid of the barriers altogether. And when would that be? I mean, is it only, I think we need to have a decision on what percentage of dine-in is allowed before we open the street back up. So we might want to start thinking about that rather than just kind of randomly waiting for the county. But otherwise, it was a very good weekend for Chase's, and we're thankful.
Does anybody know anything about Cafe Allegro? I understand they didn't reopen this weekend.
No.
All right. If no other comments, yeah, thanks. It looks like it went pretty smooth there, Eric. And, a lot of people appreciate it. The next item, the alternate board member, eventually to when Chris departs. And Chris, do you have any further update on that? How much longer you plan to?
Yeah, the sale is transacting actually March 1st. So I could stay on, and I've asked Dory to consider as the new owner to be part of the board if you guys would have her. But I don't want to push her because I know she's a bit overwhelmed, to be fair. But I will continue to pursue Dory. But is there any other people that have stepped up and showed any interest in becoming a member?
Yes, Mary Ann spoke with Perry Hannibal, who expressed interest in being a member.
Great choice. Yeah.
Good. All right. So at this point, are you thinking that you would get it on in March, or I mean, nobody's pushing?
Yeah, I could stay through the February and the March meetings and hopefully get Perry on or Dory on by the April meeting. That'd be fine.
Yeah, I'd like to invite Perry. Obviously, it's an appointment, and so the city council actually has to take an action on it too with your recommendation. So I'd recommend that at the March meeting that we invite Perry to be on here, and Dory, if Dory expressed that interest, so they both can, talk to you as a board, basically committee interview, and then let you guys, if there is a decision to be made, to provide that direction so that I could take it to the second meeting in March to the council, so they could be established and in place for the April meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good. Reports. Anything else, Eric, from city?
I don't think so.
Jason?
Nothing new. We're still planning for an August opening.
And do you know what that might look like? Are they talking like half on campus? Or?
We're hopeful that it'll be half, 50%, but it'll be a hybrid scenario, but we just don't know. County doesn't even want to even talk about it until the numbers get down to a level that seem reasonable. And our magic number is under 400 cases, positive cases a day.
In the county?
In the county.
That's a ways to go.
It's a ways to go, but we're hopeful.
Yeah.
But the rules change all the time. The 0 ICU beds 2 days before, Governor Newsom woke up one day that it's not fair for his region to be open and opened LA County with 1% ICU beds. So explain that science to me someday off camera. That'd be great. That's wacky.
All right, Leah, what's going on with the chamber? Something exciting, I hope.
Well, this month we're asking everybody to show their love for Laverne. We're running a social media promotion, asking people to share their stories of their favorite small businesses on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Use the hashtag We Love Laverne. And goes for the entire month. At the end of the month, 5 lucky winners will receive an hour-long flight from Brackett Airport. So it's just starting to get posted right now.
Great.
Awesome. All right. Anything in the marketing realm, Mickey?
Not really. For October, November, December, only 10 people took advantage of the boost, but I think we should keep it going. And I can send out another email for that. And just people need to send me their ads and, keep promoting.
All right. We did have a comment. Eric, do we need to read that or just accept it? And
Just accept it, and staff is willing to answer any questions that the board might have on any of those comments.
are there any questions? I think we all received the.
Well, I asked before you were off. I just want to be clear. It's not a rule that we can't meet in person. Jackson came into the restaurant and asked Dory about it, and Dory deferred. She didn't know. But this gentleman doesn't seem to want to go away. He's going to be honest and wanting to be part of the meeting as a public comment. And, he's pretty focused on, issues that are, keeping everything open and voices being heard and all that, which is fine. But I don't know how, are we going to defer today to the association? Because that's obviously a private discussion, the association. I'm not sure if we need to do that, but just a clarification that we are going to stay on Zoom for an indefinite period of time, correct?
My answer to Chris earlier was that we all of our public meetings are taking the direction of the city council. The city council meetings continue to be on Zoom remotely. Once the council decides that they are going to meet back in person in a public setting, it'll probably still be a hybrid. It probably won't be a meeting where the room can be full of people, right? That once you have a public meeting, you can't restrict occupancy really. That's one of the problems, because then you're keeping people out without giving them the opportunity to participate, such as you can through Zoom and over the phone. So at some point, the city council will go back to public meetings, and at that time, we would expect the other public meetings. It's not just you, it's our development review committee, it's our planning commission meeting, it's our youth and family action committee meeting. Those are all committees that have been meeting through Zoom, and those all will take the direction of the city council in terms of when we would be going back to in-person meetings.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable. Any further comments from board members, announcements, anything you want to share? No, if not, then we'll actually get out of here a little bit.
You know what? I'm sorry. I do have one comment. The other morning, there was a homeless person sleeping right in front of the donut store. And I called the police right away because a few people had come in and complained to me about it. So I just think we need to be diligent about calling the police, because with the tent set up, that could be an easy spot, especially in the rain, where homeless people would sleep under the tents. And then, you know, this person was in the sunshine, right by the donut store. Tons of people walking by. It was great because downtown was so busy on Saturday. But I think that we need to all take action and just keep on this, because we don't want our town to turn into a spot where homeless people want to gather.
We've had the issue for the last 2 weeks. A homeless person in a wheelchair is sleeping on the couches under Chase's lounge area. We've had to, at the advice of the police, remove the cushions inside so it's not as comfy. It didn't seem to faze him one night during the rain, and he slept there anyway. I'm not sure where compassion and the rule of law crosses on this, but we call the police every time, and the police are a little bit exasperated with what to do, how to handle it. The person's truly in need, or are they whatever? And I don't have an answer. I don't know what to do with these people. It's happening regularly. We can't take in our chairs every night. It's impossible the way this construction or the setup is. And I'm open eared to anyone who can give me some advice on what to do, because it's becoming a problem.
Other than referring, I don't think there's much else we can do at this point. Is there, Eric?
No, I mean, the city has homeless outreach programs that we partner. Obviously, the police department's the key component of it, but city staff as well, and look for fundings to try to get people the help that they need. But as Chris alluded to, they need to want to accept that help, and that's usually the biggest barricade is the people that don't want any help and won't accept it, and to where there is little that the police department can do. It's not illegal for a person to lay on the sidewalk. It's been held up in the court that's legal. There are certain things that, Chris, that they could probably help you with on, since it is private property, in terms of no trespassing signs, etc. For that purpose on your patio, but in the sidewalk and in public areas, it's definitely more difficult for the police department to do anything because they're not breaking the law.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I referred and tagged off of what Mickey said, because I'm sure this particular person went off the private property, went onto the public property, which is right in front of their businesses. And I don't, again, have an answer. I'm merely talking out loud because it's a little bit exasperating what to do. And at the same time, you want to, how bad is it in the morning for us? Well, now that we're open exactly early, the other side of the patio isn't. It's just an issue we've got to deal with. So, but it is becoming. I remember the discussion about, do we have bathrooms and benches at the train stop in Laverne that's being developed, and when that was pulled because of Azusa's comments about it attracted the homeless at the end of the train. I was like, what? And now I realize what they're talking about. If you provide a comfortable space in a public environment, people who don't have a lot of choices end up there. And that's sad, but it happens. And I think it's probably going to get a little worse before it gets better.
Okay, anything else? If not, we will stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody. And
we will have a March meeting, right, Natalie? Not on a Tuesday?
No, March 1st.
March 1st is a Monday. Yay. Okay. Just kidding you, Natalie.
It was February Thursday. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time or soon.